Welcome to Kerah Speaks, where the truth runs deep. Faithful, healed, and free. Real talk, real growth. Let the Spirit speak. Stories that set you free. Becoming who you're meant to be. Welcome to the conversation. Kerah Speaks.
Welcome back to Kerah Speaks, the calling series, where I have open and honest conversations with fellow creatives who are walking in their purpose and who have answered the call to create. It's less about what they do and more about why they do what they do. But before we get into all of that, if you can go ahead and give me a thumbs up, like this video right now, go ahead and do it because I know y'all watching. So like this video. If you're listening on the podcast, follow this podcast. Go to YouTube and look at the video and you will see a QR code in the corner of the screen that says get the merch. That'll take you straight to kerahspeaks.com. And on there, you will be able to get 15% off all of my merch, which is Faithful, Healed, and Free right here. T-shirts, hats, my book, Healing Cost Me Everything. It'll give you 15% off your entire order when you use the discount code CALLING. So go ahead and hit that up. And we're going to go ahead and get into the episode. I am so excited for this conversation today. I have seen this woman on Sports Talk with JB, and I was like, she know what she's talking about. And I was just so inspired, and I admired her. I'm just like, wow. And then when I found out she was a veteran, I said, oh, yeah, I got to talk to her. Jocelyn Thomas, she is a sports storyteller, content creator, Army veteran who currently works with ESPN supporting live sports productions with a background that blends military leadership, sports, and sports media. She built a platform that is intentionally bringing visibility to women's sports today. And we are talking to her about her journey, her purpose, and what it looks like to build something meaningful and aligned. If y'all can please welcome to the stage, Jocelyn Knows Sports. What's up? How you doing?
Hey, what's up? How you doing? How's everybody doing?
We good. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you know, I've been watching you on Instagram, and I'm gonna tell you, I really love when you post in the mornings the things that you're grateful for. I really love how you start your day. Why do you do that? What made you start, writing down what does that mean to you?
To be honest, my life can be very full in a blessed way, and sometimes a chaotic way. And I like to get up early. I guess it's still like the soldier in me a little bit. I still kind of get up early, but I like to be reflective before there's so many things that come and weigh me down and I become ungrateful. So I need God to know right off the bat, I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to have another chance, and I'm grateful for the day before life starts to happen.
Yeah, it gets you grounded.
Yes.
I like that. I really like that you do that. You call yourself the sports savant. I like that. The sports savant. I don't think I've ever heard anybody call themselves that. What does that mean to be a sports savant?
I started using that term back when I was an intern at Disney Sports, just because I like to think I'm well versed at all. I think people like to try to niche you down to one particular thing. Like you may have a sport that you watch or you pay attention to more than others, but for the most part, I'm pretty well versed in most sports. So that's why I just call myself a sports savant. Like, I play tennis, I play golf, I like football, I like basketball. I got into hockey lately. So, I work with professional soccer.
Yeah.
So like, I do a little bit of all.
Yes. So give us a little bit about your background. You said you're a soldier, so I know you're a veteran. How long did you do?
I did 20 years in 3 days, but who's counting? I was a little mad about the 3 days, but you know what?
Oh, so you're retired.
I'm a retired veteran, yes.
Okay. Enlisted Corps, officer Corps, which one?
Both. I'm what they like to call a Mustang. So I did half of my career enlisted, half of my career commissioned. That's probably one of the things I'm most proud of. I used to be a Sergeant First Class P on the enlisted side, and I retired as a Captain P on the commission side. So I was I'm like a black Audie Murphy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what did you do in the Army?
I did a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
Some jobs that people will know, I was a platoon sergeant multiple times. I was an AIT equivalent of a drill
Mhm.
sergeant. I was a platoon sergeant, an XO, a company commander twice. I
Oh,
was an
wow.
acting battalion XO. I was the S3. I've done a lot of different jobs, but I'll probably say being a platoon sergeant and a company commander are my favorite jobs because it kind of helped me to play on my actual I'll say my skill as a person. I'm a
Yeah.
very much a people person, and I think the
Mhm.
Army really showed me how to hone into my leadership skills.
Yeah.
And those were the two jobs, as you know, as a veteran,
Yeah.
that you're involved with soldiers every single day.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I was Air Force, so it was a little different.
Oh Lord!
And a cop at that. But
Oh, probably like they're giving tickets.
yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I definitely understand what you said that the military does definitely teach you how to be adaptable and to deal with people. That's one thing that I can definitely take from the military that I'm very grateful for that I am able they just help you be able to talk to people and just kind of mesh well with different personalities. I think so. So when you got out of the military, how long have you been out?
It's so crazy. I feel like it's so crazy when I tell this story. So
Mhm.
I actually retired from the Army August 1st, officially August 1st, 2024. I finished my internship at Disney Sports like
Okay.
August 2nd or 4th, 2024. And I started working for ESPN August 10th,
Wow.
2024. So all of it happened in 1 week.
Yeah.
So it was a unique transition for me to kind of learn how to be a civilian because I
Mm.
felt like I kind of had to rapidly learn.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think that has been the biggest challenge becoming a civilian?
I think the biggest challenge for me, honestly, was just maybe trying to discover what that meant.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of us veterans who joined very young, so I joined
Mm.
when I was 19 years old. I come from a
Yeah.
very small town in Montgomery, Alabama. I didn't really know how to be an adult outside of the military, let alone a civilian in
Mm.
corporate America.
True.
So I think just the transition of life is like I was
Mm.
learning everything new at one time.
Yeah, you had to be an adult as a civilian. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
And there's,
true.
when you're so accustomed to stuff, I remember my first day in my internship at Disney Sports. I'm like, what am I supposed to wear? And they're like, whatever you want to wear. But I mean, like, I have never had that, free
Yeah.
autonomy of doing it. So things that small, and I think it took me maybe twice walking on a football field in some heels to realize that's not what you're wearing when you actually covering a football game.
Yeah. Right. So what when you were active duty, were you always into sports? Did you know that's what you wanted to get into sports commentating, the sports media when you separated or when you retired?
Say yes and no.
Mhm.
I think, and it's not in a bad way, but
Yeah.
I think in the military you kind of cultivate it to just learn your culture.
Yeah.
I don't think I was anything outside of Captain Thomas until I needed to be something else.
Mhm.
So I didn't really think of life outside the military until I hit that like year mark, maybe 15, when I knew I was going to transition out. And I always thought that I would own a gym.
Mm.
So I'm actually a certified personal trainer,
Okay.
and I did an internship at Mayweather Boxing and Fitness prior to my internship at Disney Sports. And I
Wow.
was actually a general manager there. So
That's one
I
thing about
missed
the
a lot of
military.
lives.
Yeah, that's one thing about the military, man. We are versatile.
Well, see, I was the master fitness trainer when I was enlisted for the
Okay.
battalion. So I had got so used to, like, it's a position in the army. And so like I was just the fit person, helping people lose weight, helping people pass their PT test. And then when I was a commander, I hated when I had to chapter soldiers out the military for being overweight or not meeting height and weight standards.
Right.
So I myself created programs to help them lose weight. And so like I was like, oh, this is my thing.
Yeah.
But doing that internship, I just kind of realized that wasn't my thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But I remember my interview with ESPN, and I kind of explained to them, that sports was a connector for me. And I
Mhm.
didn't realize how much it was until I was in those positions where, you're in Afghanistan and you're the only Black woman there.
Mm.
No one cared what color I was, what gender I was, how old I was when we were watching the Army versus Navy game.
Yeah.
We were watching the Super Bowl. And so I learned early on in my leadership positions that sports helped me connect to everybody in my formation.
Mm.
And I think I'm learning more in my civilian life that it kind of helps me connect to people all over the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's really interesting. So you currently work for ESPN, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So what do you do there?
So for ESPN, I'm what they call a crewing coordinator. What that means, bluff wise, is I'm the person that hires the people that put the games on television.
Cool. That's really
It's a
cool.
pretty cool job.
That is a cool job. From coming from 20 years and then retiring from the military now to working for ESPN. What a life.
What a
What
life.
a
I told you
life.
I lived a couple lives, friend.
What a life.
I told somebody I need to sit down and make a little bio book one day.
Yeah, you should. You should. I mean, that is some transition. If you look back now, could you have seen your life where it is today?
No, I know you're friends with my good friend JB,
Yeah.
aka Justin, even though
Yeah.
he doesn't like me to call him that anymore. We grew up on the same block.
Wow,
So,
really?
yeah,
Okay.
we were like best friends when we were like 5, and we used to play basketball all the time. So sports was always there. It always was a connection with us
Yeah.
in sports, but it's a different way nowadays. But yeah, I come from very humble beginnings, and I joined the military honestly because before my mother passed away. She suffered for cancer most of my
Mhm.
life, all of her life. I didn't want to be a financial burden,
Yeah.
so I said I was going to join the army, get my degree, and get out.
Yeah.
And obviously, my life changed in the military. I always tell soldiers I spent the first 10 years for myself, the last 10 years for them. And my
Mhm.
mother passed away during my command, my second command, and it really made me think. It hit close to home
Mhm.
that time is precious. It waits for no man. I always thought that once I retired, I could do all these things with my mom. I can make up for the missed
Mm.
birthdays, missed Mother's Days. And so that was one of the main reasons why I knew it was time to retire because
Yeah.
life was just so different. And to be honest, sports, the whole opportunity with ESPN came through networking, persistence,
Yeah.
and just believing in myself because
Mhm.
like people were looking at me like I was crazy. And
Yeah.
I always give a shout out to my old lieutenant colonel, my old boss, Matthew Turcott. I still talk to him to this day because I
Mhm.
just became a Disney ambassador, which is
Wow.
crazy. And so it's this commercial out, and he saw it and he sent me a message. It almost made me tear up. But I remember he called me. This is maybe like a month after my mom's funeral.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Well, what are you going to do now?" Because I was on the major list. And I was like, "I'm still getting out. Like, I don't care
Mhm.
about
Yeah, yeah. Because usually people stay in, especially when they promotable to major. They be like, I think I'll do a few more years.
I was just so different. I think that part of my life was just
Mhm.
done.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know I didn't know what that meant because it
Mhm.
had been my entire life.
Mhm.
But I think sometimes God will give you a major shift for you
Yeah.
to look at stuff differently.
Yeah.
And I think my time had just come to an end in the military. And I told him, well, I was like, I'm gonna buy a gym
Mhm.
and I'm gonna just run the gym. And he was like, that's cool for somebody else, but not you.
Mhm.
And now he's my newer battalion commander because the other battalion commander was with me for the full 2 years.
Yeah.
Colonel Turcott was only there for like the last 4 or 5 months. And so I was just like, what do you mean? And he was like, everywhere you go, you brighten up the room, you make it better.
Yeah.
Don't settle for a job. He's
Mm.
like, you can do anything. If you take money out of it, what would you do? So
Mm.
that threw me off. Like I
Okay.
said, from humble beginnings. My whole life I had to worry about money. I
Yeah.
didn't I didn't factor in that I'm gonna retire. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
money isn't that big of an issue anymore. So I was like, well, if I could, I work at ESPN, but people like me don't just go to ESPN and work. And he was like, no, you do.
Mm.
And that like lit a fire in me. I think I needed that nudge. I was just so down in life
Yeah.
that I had become complacent. And he helped push me, and I end up going over to Disney Sports, meeting a great man named Sean McNally, who took a chance on me.
Yeah.
And the rest is kind of history.
Yeah. So do you think if you hadn't gone through, having a death in the family and having that transition in your life, do you think you would have stepped out on faith to go and try to work for ESPN?
I don't Oh, I tell people all the time, like my life got better when
Hmm.
my mom passed. I know it sounds crazy,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
have my mom's name tattooed on me. I feel like she's my angel, like my guardian angel, to make sure that things happen for me well. Because
Hmm.
like I was going through a really rough patch, and then it's just like life just got better. It's like
Yeah.
5 years of just craziness,
Yeah. Yeah.
honestly. And like maybe 3 months after she passed, no, but the maybe the week that she was getting ready to transition, I got my retirement orders. And
Mm.
then a few months after she passed, that's when the opportunity came up for Disney Sports.
Wow.
And for
Wow.
Disney Sports, I was the first ever intern they ever gave that to. So
That's
like
big for you.
that's why I was like, none of these things I could have predicted because it's such an unpredictable story.
Yeah, that's true. That's how you really know when something is for you. The fact that they never had an intern until you applied, that is really a story about faith and a story about purpose and calling. You said that people thought you was crazy when you decided that you wanted to do that. What kind of things did you hear when you were making that transition, when you doing something? Because the military and working at ESPN doing sports, those are two different lanes. So what kind of things did you hear, and what allowed you to continue to keep moving forward, and what you knew that it was something for you?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, they don't say it now.
Uh,
But
of course not.
in the beginning, like, I mean, I was a pretty decorated officer in the
Okay.
army. So to them, I'm walking away from a guaranteed thing and taking a possibility on a pipe dream. So that
Mhm.
was, in a nice way, people saying that to me. And just kind of telling me it was impossible. They
Mm.
don't know anyone that works at ESPN. There's no one you could just call. And to be honest, you don't just go work there. Like you have to find a back way to kind of get in. And I just kind of was very persistent. Met a lot of great, I call them characters in my book or
Yeah.
mentors, whatever
Yeah.
people want to
Mhm.
call them, that just kind of helped guided me along the way to kind of make it happen. But
Mhm.
mostly anything, like I tell any person I speak to when I'm talking to college students or high school students or whoever, if
Mhm.
you don't believe in yourself, nobody else ever will.
Yeah.
So for me, I thought I was the best soldier. I thought I was the best commander. And you better damn believe I think I'm the best sports
That's right.
broadcaster, right? So like you have to have that crazy delusional faith that
Yeah.
you are meant to do bigger things. So like I never hesitated to take the chance on myself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's wonderful. Wow. So you talk a lot about women's sports in what you do now. Why is women's sports so important to you? Because you are very intentional about highlighting women. What do you think is the biggest misconception about women's sports?
Well, I think for me personally, I'm very intentional highlighting women's sports because a lot of people aren't. And I
Yeah.
think that is a discredit to the sport. That's a discredit to those young ladies. So I try to do my best to tell the story.
Hmm.
It's important to me because there are many times I've been the only
Yeah.
woman, the only black, the only this, the only that. So I think it's important. But what I like about highlighting women's stories is it makes them more than just an athlete.
True.
And I think, as crazy as it sounds, men are more prone to watch a woman's football player.
True.
But a woman is more likely to listen to the story of why
Yes.
this woman is a football player.
Yes. Yes.
Trying to give these women a platform for people to understand they're not so much different from you and they're actually very talented while they're doing it.
Very. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's important to kind of highlight the story to show more than just an athlete.
Yeah. Humanize them. Because just, yeah, just
Yes.
like you said. Yeah. What what do you hope that what do you think that might people might be overlooking when it comes to women's sports?
Most people are just sexist. I had a guy send me a crazy message on Threads say, I think I just I posted on Threads for don't know who needs to hear this. Women's football is the next big thing. He sends like 2 paragraphs about women in lingerie and they need to be able to play well and they need to look good. I text back, I don't even know how to respond to this. I said, but I'm going to say, as a person that works in the sports industry, I respectfully disagree
Mhm.
and I hope you have a blessed day. Because, like, you ain't finna have me out here looking like a crash out.
Yeah.
But this is a person who's never even watched the game or is even
Yeah.
trying to learn the sport. So you have so many people that's just planting hate.
Hmm.
You have to almost work extra hard
Yep.
to show the actual athlete, the sport, the stats.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, usually most of the messages like that I get are from people who aren't even watching.
Yeah. And they're overlooking the talent. And I think that's what infuriates me sometimes when I am watching women's basketball game or something like that. And I get on Twitter or X and I see the comments that are talking about these women and their looks and how they want to sleep with them. And they're talking about it's just degrading things and things that the men don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
So it's like these women, these athletes, because at the end of the day, they're athletes,
Yep.
okay? And they have to worry about not only showcasing their talent and being the best in whatever position or whatever sport that they're playing, but they also have to combat the male gaze that they're dealing with. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate that you do tell the stories of these women, and because I've been watching some of the interviews you've been doing with the team and at Alabama State, and I'm just like, I'm really glad that you're doing it because I don't see you. I feel like you are one of the only ones that's
I
highlighting women's
appreciate
sports
that.
like that. I don't see people doing it, and I really wish that it was more. But yeah, you're absolutely right. For sure. What impact do you hope that your work will have long term?
I always look at it like somebody has to be the first.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be an advocate. Someone has to be the person who jumps on the grenade in my military jargon.
Mhm.
So hopefully, I am a person that is trailblazing this path to light the fire under other journalists or other personnel. Like, I was this weekend, I went to the Fiesta Flag Football Inaugural Classic down in
Mhm.
Arizona, which was the first of its kind.
Yeah.
And I loved how many other men and women who were supporting the game of flag football.
Yeah.
And so I think just like small little things, it takes somebody to be the first.
Mhm.
The Fiesta
Mhm.
Bowl had to be the first people to put it on live television.
Yeah.
They had to be the first to, amplify it. So I think little by little, we'll all kind of make an impact. And I'm just
Yeah.
hoping that I get that same impact. Because like I was explaining last night, I was a guest on the Black and Gold show. Like not
Mhm.
only are we not doing a great job highlighting women's athletics,
Mhm.
ASU was the only HBCU there. So it's like, it's so many different elements that are
Mhm.
hidden. And I
Mhm.
think like people don't understand when you're like 4 or 5, I always call myself a unicorn of diversity.
Mhm.
When you're so many things and people try to make you seem like you shouldn't be, I always feel like it's my duty, it's my obligation to show all these other people that I am everything they don't want me to be. But
Yeah.
look at me. You can do it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like women's sports is starting to get more recognition? Because it seems like more people, and it might be due to social media and more access that we have to these athletes and just sports in general. Do you feel like women's sports is starting to get more recognition?
1,000%. And I think you hit it right on the head when you talk about social media. I think one of the biggest impacts that people will probably never give her credit for is Angel Reese going viral for doing this to Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
Even
Yeah.
though it kind of made all this racism
Mhm.
comments and all these women hating comments from
Yeah.
misogynists,
Yeah.
it still shined a light on the game.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark will forever be pioneers
Yes.
of women's sports because
Yes.
it put all sets of eyes on women's basketball.
It
And now
did.
these WNBA players are getting $1 million contracts. They weren't getting that before all of that happened.
Facts. Facts.
Because it only takes one, right? Somebody
Yeah.
has to be the first.
That's right. That's right. So obviously, even though you do women's sports, is it male dominated though?
The sports world?
Yeah,
A
for
thousand percent.
women's sports. Okay.
So I think something, and I don't mean it in a negative way
Yeah.
because there are a lot of men that do
Mhm.
a lot for women's sports.
Yeah, for sure.
They got to stop hiring all these male coaches for women teams.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because I'm a feminist, but like we ain't getting that same treatment on the other end of the spectrum. You don't
Right.
see women coaching NBA
True.
or college basketball teams. So I don't understand why there's so like the number ratio of
Hmm.
male coaches versus women coaches in college women's basketball, the WNBA, and even flag football
Hmm.
is very, very small.
Why do you think that is? I mean, besides patriarchy and misogyny, like, are they not like not going
That's
after
number
interview?
one.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, are they just not interviewing women coaches?
I think they like to sell a name.
Mm,
So like all of it's a business at the end
yeah,
of the day. Like I used to tell my soldiers that, like even the military to a certain extent, it's a business.
yeah,
You're gonna sell more tickets with a known coach that used to play, I don't know, for Alabama State
yeah.
University, or he used to play at his old alumni school down at Morehouse. So
Hmm.
it's like, it sometimes makes a difference for seat fillers. Like
Yeah.
you have to sell tickets, you have to get backing from your boosters. So
Mm,
I think there are different ways. But like I feel like if they get a chance, right? You look at Dawn Staley and
yeah.
what she's done for the South Carolina Gamecocks. All we really need is an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True. 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 That is absolutely true. What do you think has been some of your greatest challenges in this field, and also some of your greatest triumphs?
Oh, that's a good question. I think some of my greatest triumphs has just been networking. Like it's
Mhm.
amazing the amount of people who want to help.
Mhm.
You don't think that you'll get a lot of support along the way. Um, and usually I know people say it, and I think I was listening to your episode with JB this
Mhm.
morning when I was finishing up a meeting. Most of the time, the support you're gonna get is from people you don't know.
True.
And
Yeah.
so, like, on this journey of being a civilian, being
Mhm.
in the corporate world, learning the sports industry,
Yeah.
tackling women's football, which is uncharted waters, the amount of support that I've gotten from people is crazy. And I'm talking about high
Mhm.
level people, or
Yeah.
people who are on my platform, or
Mhm.
people who just are tuning in and supporting. Like, I like what you're doing. Or do
Yeah.
more interviews like this. So I think the networking and support has been overwhelming to me.
Mhm.
Some challenges is it sounds crazy, but none of the things that I am passionate about technically for women's sports
Uh-huh.
is covered by ESPN. So I have
Oh,
to keep those things separate,
okay.
and it becomes sometimes a little conflicting.
And what are some of those things?
Well, so this was the first time they covered a flag football
Okay.
game. So, but this isn't the first time I've been at one.
Right, right. Because I've seen you do going to multiple flag football games. You
So it's
talk a lot
almost
about
like
that.
I'm doing double the work.
Yeah, yeah.
So like if my real job, for instance, is I'm working college football, but it's during
Mhm.
the same time frame that they're having college football. I mean a flag football tournament. I
Yeah,
got to do my job, but I
yeah,
still want to be able to give 100% to what my passion is.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it can be a challenge at times.
for sure. So what keeps you consistent?
I feel like sometimes you have to just go with the opportunities that are provided to you at the time. Like none of these things that are coming my way are accidental.
True,
Like I just don't believe in that.
true.
And I think, and this is just me maybe being optimistic, I'm a
Mhm.
person of faith. I think those two lanes will marry over.
Yeah.
It just may not be in 2026. So
Mhm.
I feel like if I can continue to do a good job over here and continue to be an advocate and a face for the game, right? As a
Mhm.
trailblazer, there's no way you can ignore those lanes crossing.
Mhm. Yeah. Was there ever a time where you felt like, maybe this is the wrong field, like it's not working out how I thought it was gonna be? Maybe I just need to do something else. Did you ever have that moment?
Well, I mean, I'm the princess of the pivot, honestly.
Oh,
Like, I
you
mean,
know
I've
that's right.
had,
I like that. I like that.
I'm not about to play with you.
Hey, that's that veteran in you right there, though.
But I mean, I pivoted when like I was talking about fitness.
Yeah.
It felt like the right thing. And then like once I was in the groove of it, I'm like, this isn't for me. Sports is more my lane.
Yeah.
So like for me, when I don't feel as passionate, because I give everything 110% that I do. And
Mhm.
that goes for jobs, people,
Mm. Yeah.
a location I'm living. if I don't have that same 110% passion I had,
Mhm.
I'm gonna pivot away from it.
Yeah, yeah. So, what is your community like? Do you have a really strong, positive community that supports you? I'm sure you do. You're successful.
I always tell people success is measured in different ways.
Okay.
I view myself very differently than probably a lot of people do because I'm hungry, like I'm
Yeah.
always ready to eat. I'm never
Yeah.
satisfied, so to say. But I live all over the place. It's like a running joke with people. They're like, "Where are you?" I travel a lot for both jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have a pretty good community in Florida. I have a pretty good community in Atlanta, and I'm from Alabama. So whenever I'm working on stuff for Alabama State, my family's very supportive. JB's very
Yeah.
supportive. So I mean, I think I sprinkle a little bit of magic dust
Yeah.
everywhere, so it
Mhm.
kind of works out. I'm a people person, so if I've worked with you or if I've had some dealings to do with you, you can
Mhm.
always kind of count on me, and so it works out. It works out.
That's cool. So with all the ripping and running and up and down, because Jocelyn, it sound like Jocelyn being spread every which way.
This is my wings friend.
What keeps you anchored? You said you are a woman of faith, so I know your faith keeps you anchored. What do you do when things, are just moving so fast? What do you do to slow down and just sit in gratitude? I know you do your things that you're grateful for. We do know that. But what are some other things you do? What keeps Jocelyn grounded?
Ooh, well, my son definitely keeps me grounded. I have a very handsome young man that's 8 years old, my son Legend. And Legend is probably the complete opposite of what my life is like. He is very
Okay.
much out of the limelight. He doesn't like sports. So like
What? What is legend like?
Legend is a gamer. He's an active gamer. And usually when I'm with him, we're playing video games or doing something very chill and tranquil. So my son keeps me grounded. And I'm very fortunate to have the same best friend since I was 5 years old.
That's a blessing.
Yes,
That's a
yes.
blessing.
She is probably the strongest support system I have in my life since my mom passed away.
Mhm.
So she's gonna always check on me and she gonna always check me also.
That's important.
She gonna check in and she gonna check.
That's it.
But she's very much a family person. I don't know if I would say that I am because I'm more of a career person. But
Yeah.
whenever I'm in Texas visiting her, is very family oriented.
Mhm.
Her kids, her husband, we're all eating dinner together. It's very mild, and I think like I appreciate the people and things in my life that
Mhm.
aren't all of this. I think
Mhm.
people like, oh, you're the success. We should be celebrating. We should be partying. That's not really who I am. So like, I
Mhm.
kind of like to just, like, and that's what
Yeah.
keeps me grounded. But I'm also very active.
Okay.
I know you see, I play tennis. I go like
Yeah,
once a
you be
week.
everywhere, man. You be dilly
But
and
I used to
dallying.
play. I used to play. So I actually, I'm pretty decent. Not as good as I would like to be because I'm not consistent enough. I'm
Yeah.
not around enough. My coach always be like, "You should be playing 3 times a week." I was like, "I'm not about to be Coco Golf. Like, let's let that go."
Hey, tennis, that takes some real conditioning right there. I tried to do it one time. I was done. I ran to one side of the court. I'm like, nah, I'm straight.
You said that's it for you.
Oh,
I love it. It's more of a healthy sport because I feel like I could do it at my own pace.
yeah.
Like I still miss that active part of me from being in the military because I was literally the PT stud when I was in the
What?
military.
Oh,
So I
okay.
don't do all of that stuff anymore. Like, I mean, I got about 275% disability over here. Girl, they done
Really?
broke me down. I'm a 4-time combat veteran.
Oh yeah, yeah. Listen, leave that stuff alone. We broken over here.
Girl. So I don't do all that running anymore, but I like to play tennis to unwind. I like to go to the gym and do moderate workouts, but pretty good workouts for me. So
Yeah.
those are things that keep me grounded and balanced. And then like what I love really about working for ESPN is like when you busy, you busy.
Yeah.
You're not. So like I know when to take a break. I know when I can
Mhm.
take a knee. So like right now it's technically off season for me.
Mhm.
I won't really pick up until midsummer.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
I'm kind of taking it easy and just doing more interviews and more things
Yeah.
for flag because like now I don't have to do double the work because
Yeah.
one work is paused. So he's like you kind of learn your schedule and you
Okay.
take advantage of that so you won't overexert yourself.
Okay, so I caught you at the right time then to get this
It's,
interview.
it's a good time for us. It's a good time for us.
Good, because if I would have waited till the summer, I wouldn't have got you.
Summer is gonna be hot, more ways than one.
Yeah. You said earlier that you wrote a book. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I actually let me see if I can bring the book in here. So I'm actually a co-author on a number one selling book. This I think you gotta zoom in to see
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. I
There
got
you go. But yes, it's a women's devotional.
you. Okay.
And I give like a brief 2, 3 page, maybe five, about just my journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when people start telling me I need to make an actual like bio book. Cause like I've lived a lot of different lives.
Yeah.
And I guess like, I mean, I'm a humble person. So maybe I'm humbly saying it and they're reading it like, oh my God, what's going on?
You know what I've noticed? I noticed that sometimes we don't see how people view us.
Yes, that is so true.
And we thinking like, I'm just living my life. Like, yeah, I've done this. Yeah, I travel the world. Yeah, I work for ESPN. No big deal. you know.
I do. I feel like I don't see myself the same way other people see me, but I think now I'm starting to get it a little bit more just because it's starting to stack up a little bit more. So it's like, okay, they're talking about me or
Yeah.
like, because like I love hats, I wear hats all the
Yeah.
time and I can be on site somewhere and somebody's like, oh, Jocelyn Knows Sports.
Yeah.
To me, that's crazy, like how do you even know who I am? But it's like it's such a humbling, great thing that you have people watching and paying attention. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to do a better job at telling my story.
Yeah. And I think it also comes from when you're in the military, things are just very fast paced. It's just, boom, boom, step by step. You're just doing the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And then when you get out, things slow down.
Yeah.
And you get time to kind of zoom out and look at your life and look at the things that you've done. I think if you look at your 20-year career, you'd be like, oh, wow, I've done a lot of things. I've lived, just like you said, you've lived so many different lives.
Yeah, it took me a minute to kind of process that because like I'm such a high performer.
Yeah.
Right. So like when you're a high performer, you're constantly moving the goalposts.
Yeah.
And so I don't always stop and celebrate the field goal or the
Yeah.
touchdown because I'm like, it's moving. I'm on the next down. I got to make the first down. I got to make the first down. Not realizing I've already scored. So like I tell people now I was a pretty decorated soldier. Like what I did on the enlisted side, like I made E7 in 7 years. That's already
Wow. Oh, you fast burner. My goodness. Wow. E7? Jocelyn? Oh my goodness.
That's one of the reasons why I commissioned because I was like, I really ain't got nowhere else to go with this. Wow. And so yeah, I did 7 years, 7 and 7. That's what they used to call me, 7 and 7.
What made
And
you so
then
determined?
I've just always been a high performer. When I was growing up, my mother always validated me. I would tell people like my mama told me I could do anything I wanted to do, and I was crazy enough to believe it. And to this day, I just be like, "Oh, no, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Why would I not do it? I can do anything I want to do." So I always feel like parents have to plant those seeds with their kids. So I try to do that with my son as well. But throughout my whole life, I remember my mama always telling me I could do whatever I wanted to do. I just had to apply myself. So like that kind of drove that high performer. Whereas my dad was the opposite. It was almost like whatever I told him, it wasn't good enough. Well, what's next? Well, what's next? So it's like they created this beast where this person is like, I always got to keep outperforming everyone else. But at the same time, I know I'm good at whatever I'm doing. So it's like it was like a weird balance for me.
Yeah, yeah. So are you comfortable in rest, considering that you are a high performer? Because as Black women, we always got to do what's next. So are you comfortable in resting?
I you know what, people ask me that a lot because I guess it seems like I'm always doing something, but like when I'm off, like I'm off.
Yeah, yeah. Good.
I'm talking about like I don't even come out of my pajamas off. I don't even crank up my car off.
I know that.
I don't even buy groceries off. I'm like Uber Eats. So for me, it's a fine balance, and I love that for me because in the Army I took all the hard jobs. There was never a time for rest.
Mm.
It's like you're a commander. No one cares if you're on vacation. No one cares. Like you need to sign this. You need to do this. So it's like now that I kind of have that flexibility, that autonomy to kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna do this on Monday. Tuesday, I ain't gonna do nothing,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm gonna load today. Because like usually Fridays are my most quiet day.
Yeah.
I usually don't schedule much on Fridays.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang. Yeah, that's good. I think Black women, we need to appreciate the rest because we,
Oh, and I go to therapy. That's something I think that Black people don't do enough.
that's hello. 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 Because I faithful, healed, and free.
Yes, you
I
got to.
I completed therapy last year in July, and let me tell you, some therapy changed my life. Has it?
Amen.
Are you still in therapy today?
I don't go as frequently.
Mhm.
My life has calmed down a lot. But like
Yeah.
I said, I had a tough 5 years. I used to be stationed at Fort Hood. I was a commander at Fort Hood.
Mm,
All of the murders were happening.
mm.
And some of them were in my company.
Oh,
And yeah, it just really made
wow.
me
That's tough.
very down. And
Yeah.
during that same time frame, I went through a divorce.
Mm,
And during that, I think after all of that started to happen, I end up finding out my mom had cancer and she was
mm.
dying, and then my mother passed away. So it was just like negative thing after negative thing after negative thing. And so I kind of had to learn how to bounce back. Like I'm not an egg, I'm a
Yeah.
tennis ball. And
Yeah.
life sometimes too, when you're a high performer or a person that
Mhm.
handles stress well,
Mm.
people don't give you that cushion to grieve.
Yes.
People don't give you that cushion to be sad. Like people
Yeah.
don't give you that. They're like, well, you gotta come to work tomorrow.
Mhm.
Or you gotta pay for this. Like, we don't give a damn what you got
Yeah.
going on. So I had to kind of learn how to forgive others
Mm.
and give myself grace, which is
Yeah.
another reason why I started every
You say
morning saying
that.
I was grateful for. Because you kind of get in this pattern and you're like, this is my life.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Mm.
We have the power to choose our own lives.
The power to choose. We got free will.
There you go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, tell me, what is next for Jocelyn? What do you see yourself working at ESPN long term? I mean, man, I know you still work there, so it's probably not a good question to ask.
If they listening, 1,000%.
Maybe I need to cut that out. well, well, where do you want to grow?
Delicious pearls.
Yeah.
To be honest, I love ESPN. They're such a family friendly organization. They care about me and my son so much. I don't, it was so crazy with the transition. Like, with the military, they care, but like a little bit. So when they was asking me like, oh, we got a cake for you. And I'm like, what is going on here? And don't worry, it's vegan. But like they're so nice, so family friendly. It just kind of depends to me, how can I become a broadcaster?
Mm.
Like I love what I'm doing behind the scenes for being an advocate for women's sports. I want to take that to the next level. And
Yeah.
I want whoever wants me to be on their platform to amplify that, to
Yeah.
truly want me.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely see you doing that. I can't wait to turn on my TV and see you talking about Alabama. Cause y'all see the shirt. Don't play. Y'all
You
see the
know
shirt.
it. You
Y'all see the
know it.
shirt.
I'm a little biased though. They
Yeah,
better be playing somebody sorry.
that's all right. That's all right. I can't wait to turn on my TV. Like, I
I
know her.
appreciate that so much, friend. But I
Yeah.
think that's what's next for me. I think I'm headed in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So tell the people what you got going on currently, where they can find you, what ventures you got going on. Let them know where to buy your book.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm everywhere lately, but some projects you can find me is I cover a wonderful tackle football team in Atlanta called the Atlanta Truth. They will be playing for another month. I'm hoping they make the playoffs. They've been playing pretty good, so you can always support me and support those ladies there. They play for the WNFC, which is the Women's National Football Conference. It's very good games, very entertaining, and you can stream it on Victory Plus TV. Um, Alabama State season is closing. They may have one more game, but I cover the Alabama State women's flag football team, the Lady Hornets. You can catch anything on the Black and Gold show and syndication. May not be newer unless they play that last game. And I also obviously work for ESPN, so you can kind of catch me doing a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. And I'm also a Disney ambassador, and that campaign should be starting to run this summer if it's not already.
Mm-hmm.
You can get this book on Amazon.com, or you can hit your girl up. I got a few extra copies here in the house. I am on all social media platforms as Jocelyn Knows Sports, just like how it's written. Jocelyn Knows Sports. There's Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, as well as, oh no, on Facebook, I'm just Jocelyn Thomas. And on LinkedIn, I'm Jocelyn Thomas.
Well, there you have it. I hope y'all wrote all that down because
It's a lot going on.
that was a CVS receipt.
All you gotta do is say Jocelyn. If you Google Jocelyn Knows Sports, I should pop up and you can find me anywhere. Or Kerah can let you know.
Yeah, for sure. I'll let you. I'm gonna put it in the description, all that, so y'all can find it and be able to click on it. But thank you so much, Jocelyn. I really, really enjoyed the conversation and your insight. I knew this was gonna be a good conversation. I already knew that. You're a Bama fan. You're a veteran. I already knew that. You know,
I'm 2 for 2.
2 for 2, and you cover women's sports because we love the girls.
Don't we do it?
We love the girls.
We love them.
Okay. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure that you tune in every single Tuesday for Kerah Speaks. And also stay tuned for Kerah Speaks, the calling series. I'm going to be talking to a lot of different creators, getting their backstory, want to know what called them to do what they're doing. And as always, you could come and watch me right here. Give me a thumbs up. Follow me. Follow Jocelyn Knows Sports. Okay. So you can see her 5 legendary takes. Okay. And I will see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching.
Follow this podcast and connect with me at kerahspeaks.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Kerah Speaks.